Welcome back, barbecue fans, to another week of Wise Guys Barbecue Podcast. With me today is Bob Baumann from Big Bobby's Q. I got it right this week, Bob.
You got it right.
You know what it is? I think as I look over and I read it and I get confused. But anyways, I got it right. They're not going to screw it up anymore. And we are so psyched because you hooked up another friend of yours and you know, a true champion in the barbecue world, Bill Gillespie from Smokin Hoggz. So we're going to have an interview with him coming up in just a few minutes.
I'm going to say Bill is he's the GOAT.
Yeah, he sure is.
He's the GOAT. He's, we'll get into it, but he's been competing for, I think, close to 20 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's done a lot.
He's done a lot.
He's done a lot for the barbecue community, and great guy. So
yeah,
can't wait.
And the consistency in what he does is amazing.
Yep.
Didn't you just tell me he was down in Florida somewhere, right?
Yeah, he just got back from Florida. There was the
Lakeland Pig Festival.
Pig Festival.
Yeah.
Yep. And he had a fabulous score there, and so he'll tell us all. Hopefully, tell us all about it.
All right, let's not keep our audience waiting anymore.
No.
Let's get right into that, and we'll check you guys out on the backside of that interview. Hey, barbecue fans, here we are again with another week. We got Bill Gillespie from Smokin Hoggz with us today. Bob Baumann from Big Bobby's Q set it up for us. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate that. And we're going to visit with Bill and hear all about his exciting plans for 2025 and what he's just been recently doing, right? So, yeah. So we continue from where I screwed up, please.
No worries.
So you, coming in, you just finished this weekend at Lakeland Pig Festival down in Florida. And congratulations, you finished 7th. But I want to talk about the score. So you finished 7th with a score of 702.2 something, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Let's just call it 702, which is pretty amazing in itself.
Right.
Is to have 17. And just so you know, a KCBS, they're scoring for the 4 meats.
Yep.
Perfect score is 180.
Of each meat.
Giving you a total absolute top score of 720.
And nine folks finished in the 700.
And 9 people finished over 700 or over. And the winner, Papa Pig?
Papa Pig, he had a 714 and change. So he was less than 6 points from the ultimate perfect.
Yeah.
720. Yeah. So
what
I tell you, if it wasn't for our brisket, I thought our brisket was good. It probably could have used a little more time, so the tenderness was off a little bit, which also affects the taste a smidge. But if it was on point, we had a chance to really get high in the 700.
Right.
Right. I'll take a 702 any day.
What was your best turn in? What was your highest scoring turn in? I should say.
So there was 2. It was chicken and pork.
Okay.
Both third place with like a 178 something. So each one of those was 19 away from a 180.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now
so close. it's so close up there. It's just crazy to have 9 people score that high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How many total competitors in that?
How many teams were there?
I think there was, I want to say 45 maybe.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
40 or 45, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
terrific.
Good.
Yeah.
So, little background information on Bill and Smokin Hoggz. You started barbecue competitions when?
I started competing in 2005.
Okay.
I was I was working with a few guys and decided to form a team, and we competed for about a year, and then we sort of went our own different ways. Me and another guy that I worked with formed another team, him and his buddy. And then, so it was the 3 of us and we merged with another guy. So we did that for about 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2008, I formed my team, Smokin Hoggz BBQ.
Right. And your team consists of you and Sean, right? Just the 2 of you?
It's my wife, Sean, and one of my best friends, Alan Burke. We've been friends for 40 years.
Okay.
We met when we were in Boy Scouts.
Wow.
Yeah, long time ago.
long time ago.
I don't think I've met him unless, is he the guy that has a trailer right next to yours? Like
He did. Well, you were up in Cora, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was next to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Must have
So
been,
he was competing under Willy Nilly Barbecue.
Oh.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Yeah.
And so, in 2008, you started team name Smokin Hoggz, and then 2011 was your kickoff year.
Kind of.
Breakout.
My breakout year.
That was your breakout year.
Yep.
Yeah. So Alan and I took Chris Hart's class from IQ.
Yep.
In the fall of, he won the Jack in 2009.
Yep.
First team from New England to win the Jack. So when I found out he was hosting a class, I was like, I got to go take that. So both Alan and I went, and we spent that entire winter off season cooking. We actually, before that, we went down to North Carolina just to try out the new program.
Yeah.
And we did all right. We got a couple of top 15 calls, and we're like, okay, this is pretty good. So I ended up buying the cooker off of Chris that winter. It was a backwoods Fat Boy. That's the cooker he had at the class.
Yeah.
So I basically every weekend I was cooking on that, just learning the cooker, getting the program down, just practice every single weekend. Went to our first contest in 2011, finished 7th, made a couple tweaks to a few things. Next contest, we got our first GC.
That's awesome. So when you say make some tweaks to things, like, are they that obvious? Like, do you see what can obviously be so much better in when you're competing? Do you see do you look over another trailer yard and say, that's what I didn't do? Like, how does that work?
So for example, like that particular year, for brisket, I made a tweak to my brisket after the first contest. It was a little too salty in my opinion. So I eliminated the salt portion of it. And I went a different route. And the next contest, we got a first place brisket and then our first GC. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Do you trim your own brisket?
I do. Yep.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Excellent.
Yeah. I trim everything. I don't buy the pre-trim stuff. Not that, you don't have to or whatever, but, I like to have control.
Sure.
Over what I do.
Right.
Gotcha. And now you're smoking basically on Humphreys, right?
That's correct. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I've been with them, 12 years cooking on Humphreys.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
Yep.
Awesome smokers and awesome people. Love them. I met them.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah. I met them up at Cora. That was sweet. Nice to meet them.
So
yeah.
We were talking about scores, right?
Yes.
So
sorry.
I
got off track.
So I pulled some data, and so in 2011, your average score, you ready? 657.96 was your average score.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Isn't that crazy?
Do you know what your average score is? What was last year?
Maybe, I don't even know, 670, 680, maybe.
686.27.
And also, didn't you double the amount of competitions that between those two?
Yeah, well,
averages?
So you doubled. I mean, you did 12 in 2011 and 24 last year.
So it's amazing that, you know what I mean? You got, not only did you jump that much higher in point average, but you had to keep that consistency up with such a bigger field.
We did more than 24 because they don't count that only, what is it? Barbecue Dad only counts KCBS. It doesn't include NEBS, doesn't include CBA or anything. So I think we did 27.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Last year.
Right.
So.
Right. Now, what do you see
cool stuff
during the timeline of competing? Now, obviously, you competing and improving throughout the years, your scores get better. But have you noticed a change in judging style and the scores going up every year?
The scores are definitely going up because I think the competition's getting better.
Yeah.
Everybody is offering classes now. Like when I started, you might get 1 or 2 classes a year, if that. And now it's, everybody's offering classes, which means everybody's taking them, which means everybody's getting better.
Right.
The competition's getting better every year. So you really get kind of ultra focused in what you're doing to try to get to that next level.
Right.
Sure.
Right. Yep. So it's more also too, like when you started in say 05, yours was I can see it as that everything was trial and error on your part. There wasn't all this social media and YouTube videos and websites and everything like that.
Right.
If somebody wants to get into barbecue now and you want to learn like how to do chicken for a contest, YouTube it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I tell you, we found out, and we just, not to cut you off, Bill, sorry, we just talked about this. So there people are reaching out to Barbecue News and Wise Guys Barbecue Podcast now because you're right. They can probably learn techniques, learn equipment on YouTube, but nobody knows how to get involved, right? It's like,
sure,
it's a tough, I don't want to say it's tough. I don't think it's hard at all. I think if they just go to a competition and ask a bunch of questions, they'll find themselves right in the middle of things. But at the same time, people just don't know enough to do that, right?
Right.
So I think that's important.
Nowadays, all you have to do is just go to Google and type in, barbecue competitions.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to get pages upon pages.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But, when I first started, there was like 3 main forums, if you will. The Barbecue Brethren, the Pickled Pig, and there was another one just called the Barbecue Forum. Yeah. I think that was like the oldest one, the Barbecue Forum, and then the Barbecue Brethren, which is still around, but the Pickled Pig isn't there anymore. But he was kind of cool because he actually posted his entire cooking program. He had like extensive like videos, not videos, but just pictures of him trimming his chicken and like his whole program. He had threads. He had 4 threads. Competition chicken, ribs, pork, and brisket.
Right.
And it was just kind of cool to follow. That was kind of what we did. There wasn't really much as far as like the YouTube and stuff like that, but there was some stuff out there.
Well, now we can join in Barbecue League, correct?
What's that?
Barbecue League.
Barbecue League is a membership platform that you sign on. You pay the membership fee, and you have Bill has his 4 classes: chicken, ribs, pork, and brisket, right on there. And
not on the Barbecue League.
Oh, not on Barbecue. No. What's that?
Barbecue Champs Academy.
That's it. Barbecue Champs Academy. Okay. But Barbecue League is that. So
gotcha.
2 different platforms, but it's all information that's out there.
Yep, that's available.
Yeah.
So Bill, tell us about your class. So that Barbecue Champs you just mentioned, is that a platform that runs your classes for you, or is that you? Is that actually your work?
No, that's it's a platform that runs my classes.
Gotcha.
So he's out of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Mike Steele. He runs Barbecue Champs Academy, and he approached me 2 years ago, asking if I wanted to do it. And it was like it was at the Jack. It was at the Jack in 2023.
Okay.
And he had asked me, and I said, well, yeah, let me think about it. And then I go ahead and get first place chicken at the Jack. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'll do this. So I flew down there and filmed the class, and it's the same class I teach in person. So it's all the same material. It's what I'm doing now. And
right.
I've had people take my in-person class, also take my online class. And you know, they do really well. I had one team come up to me, his wife, and goes, you know, I'm so sick of hearing your voice. And I thought that was the best compliment, you know, because her husband just kept playing the videos over and over and over again. And, you know, he ended up getting a reserve.
Oh, wow.
Reserve grand champion last year. Yeah, 2024. And, you know, I mean, he put the time and put the effort in, and it really paid off for him.
That's great. And then when you take your class, do you have, like, can you review it or revisit it as much as you want after you pay for it?
The online one, it's yours for forever, pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Yep. And then you do live classes as well?
I do, yeah. You
every
know,
year?
There's still some people like to do the in-person class because you get to taste the food, right? You can't taste the online food.
Yep.
So I offer, you know, a full 2-day competition class. It's 100% what my program is. And I run it just like a contest. So you're going to see exactly what happens, you know, during a contest.
That's important.
I do everything, you know, keep to the KCBS timeline.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's more than half of the battle, right? Is perfecting the timeline and
is getting the timeline, being consistent. You know, the biggest thing is having a program, right?
Yep.
And
so explain that. What do you mean having a program? What do you mean?
So, you know, you want to go into a competition with a specific timeline, something that you've worked on that, you know when you're going to put your chicken on, when you're going to take it off, when you're going to set the sauce, or, you know, how long you're going to cook the ribs before you foil them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly. Yeah.
So you want to have somewhat of a program. That way you're not just running around going, oh, what do I got to do next? You can just look at your timeline saying, okay, let's see, 11 o'clock, I got to, you know, cover my chicken or something, you know?
Right. Yep. No, that makes all this. That's it. That is the contest right there. Right? That's the competition that the hoops you jump through to get to the end. That's awesome.
What's your strongest category?
Right now it's probably chicken, I think. Chicken, probably then ribs, pork, then brisket. It used to be brisket was like my number one, but I don't know. I'm not as consistent as I used to be.
Not as consistent,
but, you know. But yeah, it's just something I'm working on.
I know he's the chicken master. I know that.
Yeah, and you're cooking thighs. I hear his name. Thighs.
I hear his name a lot when they go down the chicken list.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
great.
So what has your program changed a lot over the course of years of competing, or has it been pretty steady?
I think probably chicken and ribs is probably, I'm going to say it's changed.
Yeah.
You know, because every year or every other year, you know, you're just you're trying to stay on top, right? So you're trying to get to that next level. So you might tweak something, like you might maybe add a different rub or whatnot, you know, or try a different sauce just to see how that works. But I'm always sort of just slightly tweaking things just to keep at that high level.
Plus, you're also chasing the judges.
Yeah, right.
You know,
so, you know, if you do something that works, like, you know, 3 out of the 5 times, you're probably going to stick with it, you know.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But if you do the same thing 5 times and, you know, you're sitting at the bottom of the pack, then I think it's time to change something.
Right.
Improve.
Yeah.
And your big advice for doing kind of your subtle changes, any advice on that? I know some people say change one thing at a time.
Change one thing at a time. Don't change 4 things at once, because you're never gonna know which one worked and which one didn't.
Right.
And just, you know, you can do it subtly. You know, I think the best thing for teams is, so I didn't take a class for 5 years. until after I started cooking competition 5 years after. So I was making my own rubs and sauces. I took a class and I saw what they were using, and I'm like, well, this stuff's already winning. Why am I going to make this? And then I started buying, all the stuff that everybody was using pretty much.
Right.
And then slowly got back into making my own products.
Yep.
Once I kind of got the idea of, what was working, what wasn't working, I could kind of go back and say, okay, I know the flavor profiles. I know what they're looking for,
Yeah.
So if I go out and buy your rubs tomorrow, am I going to have your flavor profile? I mean, if I had a good program and cooked as well as you, I could beat you in a competition if I use your own rubs.
You probably could. Sure. Yeah. Cause I use all my products, I mean, I wouldn't, there's people out there that make products that don't use them in competition.
Yeah. That's weird.
And it is kind of weird. Right. So, but I use all my products and, cause I'm trying to build my brand. I'm trying to build a name.
Yep.
So, why wouldn't I use my own stuff? And
where can you buy that today? Is it all online? Is it 100% online?
No, locally you can buy my stuff at True Cheese supermarkets.
Okay.
In Massachusetts. It's online on my website, www.smokinhoggsbbq.com.
Yep.
Most of the barbecue supply stores have it, like Whiskey Bent down in Florida.
Okay.
The Barbecue Superstore. What's the other? There's a few others out there, and I'm dropping.
Yeah, no, I didn't know. I didn't know if you. I didn't know if you cracked retail yet, and
Oh yeah. We're out there. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. And then, how much of a challenge was that for you? I mean, to formulate that whole business structure while you're competing and everything else, is it difficult, or is it something that you kind of develop a profile and then let the distributors take care of it and just manage the marketing?
Yeah, so I got lucky. We won the American Royal in 2014, and I got approached by a company to asking me if I was, if I had any, rubs that I wanted to bring to market, and I was like, yes, as a matter of fact, I do. And that's my all-purpose rub.
Yeah.
So that was the first product that I brought to market. And they helped me develop it. And, they basically got me into a lot of the retail stores that I'm in now. So that was a big help,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't have that option or that luxury.
Yeah. Sure.
I was fortunate enough that they were willing to help me out, and do that.
Cool. That's good fortune, Bill,
yeah.
What it is.
Yeah. Bill, what's one of the most memorable experiences competing?
It had to be the Jack.
If you're going to say win the Jack or win the American Royal,
I'm going to say, I mean, obviously those two, right? But I'm going to say it's my first GC, just because we were excited to get into that season, and so we're at the contest and we turn everything in, and I think we got a call in chicken and ribs, maybe not so much in pork, and then they called brisket, and they called us for first place brisket, and both me and my teammate Al stood up. We went to go high five each other, and his hand went right up underneath my glasses and poked me in the eye with his finger. So I'm up on stage with a can of beer on my eye, just, holding it there. So there we're holding the banner and stuff. And,
yeah. And what year is this, and what competition was this?
This was 2011.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we get back to our seats, and I was embarrassed because I got poked in the eye, and I said, if we get a call for overall, I'm not going up, so they're counting down, and they announced grand champion, and I was the first one up and on stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just it's a memory I'm never going to forget.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. Your first one.
Yeah.
You travel, well, you do a lot of them in New England. You've been to Florida. You've gone to Kansas City. You've gone to Lynchburg. Is there any competition that's still on your bucket list that you want to go to?
Oh yeah. I would love to be able to do Houston. I'd love to be able to do Memphis in May.
What's some mistakes that beginners commonly make that you think that, given some advice that, you're starting out, avoid this rabbit hole. It leads to no good.
I mean, I guess the best thing to do is just to practice.
Yeah.
I always say practice until you can't get it wrong.
Yeah.
Don't keep poking at things, just let it do it. Let it cook. Not even so much for competition, just keep the lid on it. Don't keep taking the lid on and off because you're wasting heat.
Yep.
It depends on what you're using, but every time you open it up, it's going to take that much more time for it to come back up to town.
And I think you already said it. I think take a class, because you can practice as much as you want, but if you're practicing and getting it wrong, you're basically just practicing and get it wrong. You're never going to get it right.
Yeah.
Take a class, learn and utilize what you learn, and then practice that, right? Apply those changes.
Oh, I forgot that Bill also has a couple cookbooks.
Oh yeah,
I do.
He has. They're on my shelf.
Nice. Did he sign any for you?
No, he hasn't. I have to.
Well, if you bring him to the class,
Yeah.
That's great.
But,
All right.
I got 4 cookbooks. And again, that was another, I guess, benefit. When we won the Jack, I got approached a couple of years after, like maybe 2 years after we had won the Jack, if I was interested in writing a cookbook. And so I wrote my first cookbook on the Weber Smoky Mountain. And I knew nothing about writing cookbooks or anything. And it was I knew nothing about the whole process. I had maybe like 20 recipes just kind of like scribbled down on random pieces of paper. And, I had about, maybe 3 months to write the whole thing.
Yep.
So I got into it and I'm about maybe 6 weeks out. So I turned to a friend of mine who's a writer, but he's also a barbecue judge. And I said, "Hey, Tim," I said, I get some good news and bad news. I said, the good news is, I got an opportunity for you to help me write a book. So the bad news is we have 6 weeks to do it. So we got together, like he lived about maybe 45 minutes from me, and we would get together, maybe 3 or 4 nights a week and hammer out some recipes.
Yeah.
We'd cook them on the weekends, and we'd go, all right, that's good. And he basically took all my kind of scribble and turned it into stuff that people could actually read.
Nice.
And one of the best compliments I think I ever got, or the both of us got, was somebody come up to us and said, "Hey, when I'm reading these recipes, I can actually hear Bill's voice in my head." So he was able to basically write everything sort of in how I talk, what I'm saying?
In your vocabulary,
In my
vernacular,
and,
right? Yeah.
That was probably one of like the best compliments I think the two of us got. So
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
So can we talk about the elephant in the room now?
No.
Sure.
I have one more question.
All right.
I have one more real question.
All right.
All right.
All right.
On a personal level,
Yep.
what does barbecue mean to you?
Man,
Tough
it's
one.
just getting
I know.
together with friends.
Yeah.
Just relax and having a good time. Because you think about, right, it takes about however many hours to cook a rack of ribs. That's just time you can hang out, have a couple of beers, shoot the breeze, and just enjoy life. That's what it is for me. I love to cook, so any chance I get to do something like that, I love doing it.
Yep. No,
Good answer. Good answer. Now we can talk about the. All right. So I heard about
Here we
these
go.
these weenies that you made at the Jack this year. So, and I know Bob's a little put off by.
I'm not put off.
Well, I think you said
I didn't say
you know.
anything.
Well, Well, no, not towards
It's
Bill.
all right.
I mean, you complimented
Wow,
him 6 ways to Sunday on his abilities, but I guess you were telling me that there are a lot of competitors who spent a lot of money on different meats and different kind of ancillary, and Bill walks in with these. New York, is it New York style or was it Rhode Island style with the?
I call it a Rhode Island style. I mean, it's got the meat sauce, the onion, and the mustard.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly, so I'll give you the backstory on everything.
Okay.
So
please.
So my wife and I decided a few years back, we said, look, we're done cooking like the high end, like the filet, lobster tail, all that fancy stuff. And we're just going to start cooking food that we like to cook and eat. And we've done burgers at the Jack and finished 5th. The year before last year, we did a very simple lobster roll and a little tiny cup of clam chowder that finished 4th. And this year, my wife likes hot dogs. So she goes, let's do a hot dog. I said, all right. I said, how about we do something like a Rhode Island style, something a little different. And she's like, all right. So we took some Snake River Farms hot dogs and then I made the meat sauce from my brisket trimmings all ground up.
Nice. So it was a beef hot dog, right? It was a beef hot dog.
A beef hot dog. Yep.
And then brisket.
Yep.
Brisket.
Ground
sauce.
Up brisket and made into the meat sauce.
Yeah.
And then I did the white onion. I did crispy onion, and instead of yellow mustard, I did my honey mustard, and we did it on a brioche sub roll.
Oh, nice.
With some handmade or some house-made chips and little Lynchburg lemonades on the side. And to be honest with you, we went into it with zero expectations, just turning.
I love stories like this.
Yeah, and whatever, we just kind of rolled the dice. Whatever happens, happens. And I tell you, I was shocked. I mean, it was a good hot dog. Like the whole dish was good. Like it tasted good. And one of the other things you got to remember is you got to make it familiar to them, to the judges that are there, because there's some celebrity judges, and I think some people go over the top, and sometimes it works. And I think last year, the 2023, I think a lobster tail won it. But it was a beautiful looking dish. I just, I can't really explain it, but it was good. It was tasty.
Well, that's the way to represent, though. That's a hell of a way to represent, for sure.
Well, you do know the first competition of the season here in New England, in Bristol, the ancillary category is hot dog.
Oh boy,
it is. What day is that on anyway? I don't even know.
So Jeremy's contests they're doubles, and I believe it's on Saturday. Yep. I don't think he does any.
If it's on Saturday, okay. If it's on Saturday, I might do it. If it was on the Sunday, I can tell you I probably wouldn't do it.
Yeah, right.
That's cool.
So
well, that's good to know, because
why is it good to know
that he's going to do it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I might be competing against him, because I want to compete against
that's fine.
The Jack hot dog winner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was just the chef's choice category. I just happened to cook a hot dog.
Right. Yeah.
But I know there was some few people that weren't happy about that, but and all I have to say to that is just it's good food. Good food is good food at the end of the day, and hey, I got lucky too.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, after a while, how much lobster can you eat? How much lobster can you eat?
That's true. Especially if you got celebrity judges up there. They don't know.
They're like, yeah. Right.
Yep.
Totally change the palate.
Yeah.
So, well, Bill, thank you very much for all your kind time and words tonight. Is there anything else from you you'd like to squawk out there a little bit, or are you all good with the show so far?
Yeah, no, I mean, just my class coming up March 8th and 9th in Rentham at I think it's the American Legion Hall.
Yep.
Yeah, it's it's a 2-day class, Saturday, Sunday. It starts at 3 in the afternoon it'll run till about 9-10 o'clock.
Yep.
And that first day is pretty much all prep. I show you, I trim everything right in front of everybody. And then, we start pretty much that night, and then come back early Sunday morning and, finish it up, run through the whole program. My online class through Barbecue Champs Academy as well.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, later on, you and I will share some emails, and you can give me all these links, and I'll get them up on screen and in the description of this video for sure.
Everything's on your website, right, Bill?
Yeah. Oh, that's good. And,
So the I know I got to get the link up. I thought I had it up for the Barbecue Champs Academy. Maybe I don't. But my class is definitely on there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you go to Barbecue Champs Academy, and then I think you can scroll down, or there might be a tab, a drop down that says Pitmasters, and just click on my name, and that'll bring you right to the sign up for the online class.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go out and buy all 4 books and bring them to your class in May, and you're going to sign them for me, I hope. I'd love
Sounds
that.
Good.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for your time. We really appreciate it. All right. That was awesome. Bill, thank you very much. Bob, thank you very much for setting that up. For all our listeners, again, it's SmokinHoggsBBQ.com. It's spelt a little funny. It's SMOKINHOGGZ BBQ.com. So I'll have that in the links below, and it's on your screen right now. So please go check that out. Bill does a great job, and like he said, it's him. It's really him in his classes. If it's live or if it's the ones on YouTube, they're all down to earth. They're all his true personality. They come through awesome. So also check out his rubs and sauces, and you could be cooking like Bill. So there you go. But thank you very much again, Bill. And yeah, so that's it. I know today's, for our folks who haven't figured this out yet, we do these on Monday and we drop them on Friday. So we actually have football teams now for a Super Bowl.
We actually have the teams for Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, yeah. And it's a repeat of last year, right? It's Kansas City and Philadelphia. Yeah. So here we go again. But but it was that second game yesterday was exciting. That Philadelphia game,
the Philadelphia game wasn't that.
It wasn't that. I wasn't thrilled that much.
I was pretty impressed with Buffalo and their fourth down.
Yes.
Conversions.
Yeah,
that was impressive. How many fourth down conversions?
I think it was like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
It's like the tush push kind of a scenario. Yeah, they I just watching those plays, there are a lot of huge individuals on that field. It's uncanny what that must sound like and feel like. But so I know that'll be exciting in 2 weeks, and I'm going to watch. I don't shy away from any Super Bowl. I just don't love that it's so late in the day for us East Coast folks. But other than that, it's going to be exciting. And it brings up a new opportunity for you this year, right?
Right. So we just started a Big Bobby's Q catering. And yes, I know. You've tried a few things.
Yes, I was part of the soft openings.
But we're official now, and our grand opening is Super Bowl Sunday.
Nice.
And you can go to our Facebook page and link me there. Send me there's a menu. And just message me what you'd like. And we're not doing. I had somebody ask if we were doing delivery, but not at this time. Pickup will be in Woonsocket.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's fair enough. And so I will vouch for your barbecue, and I will say this for the people who don't realize how this works exactly, that when you get a competition cook like Bob making your food, it's uncanny, because there's caterers out there, there's restaurants out there, and they're there to make a buck, and they're there to make a lot of orders, and competition guys, it's not always about the quantity of the orders they make. It's about the quality for sure. And your food is top notch, as if you were, eating in a judge's chair at a competition. It's great stuff. So, I know you're going to kill anybody who takes advantage of Bob's store. You will You'll enjoy it. You'll absolutely enjoy it.
So run down on the menu. We got ribs. We're doing by the pound pulled pork, chopped brisket, and the pulled pork egg rolls are the pulled pork egg rolls are on the menu.
That's worth the trip right there to Woonsocket. So I was going to ask you that. How are you selling things? So you're selling everything by the pound. So you say, hey, I want 5 pounds of ribs. I want 5 pounds of brisket. Like,
so the pulled pork is by the pound. Chopped brisket is by the pound.
Yep.
Ribs is by the slab, full slab.
Okay.
And chicken wings. Chicken wings are by the count. I believe we're selling 10.
Okay.
And then the egg rolls are 6.
Okay. And everything's hot, ready to eat?
Hot, ready to eat. You pick it up. You actually tell me when you want to pick it up and pick up at, I think we're advertising pickup is between 1 and 4.
Okay.
So, just get you ready for the Super Bowl. You won't miss kickoff.
No, that's good. And how about sides? You doing any sides?
No sides.
No sides? Okay.
Yep. Just
maybe I'll have to set up a side shack next year. No,
we just wanted to see.
Sides are easy enough to do at home.
Yeah, great. Just a little opening, see how it goes.
Yeah. I wish you the best of luck. I know you're going to do well. I wish you the best of luck because I know you'll probably be a little frantic in the process, and I just want you to enjoy it because I know how you like to be a perfectionist and what you do. Yeah. But yeah, for sure, we had. We have a Christmas party every year, the first week of December, and Bob catered that for us. And small event. I think we did it for like maybe 15 or 18 guys, and everybody was just gaga over the food, and they expected it. I mean, that was first year Wise Guys Barbecue. Everybody's like, "Oh, you got to bring barbecue. You're going to be right." I said, "Yeah, I'm absolutely bringing barbecue, but I'm not going to." I didn't tell everybody I cooked it because I didn't cook it. We all can. So. Thank you, everybody, for joining in, and you be safe, and we'll see you again next week. Have a good weekend. Peace.